When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
We're on to Cincinnati.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Hello? You play to win the game.
They want you to cook the dinner. At least they ought to let you shop for some of the groceries.
And on the way up, we're going to buy the kneecap off.
Playoffs? You kidding me?
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
How can you not be romantic about football, man?
Hello, everybody. That's me coming back to life. I am back, baby. Welcome to Benched with Bonnetta, our second episode post-Super Bowl. The first one didn't count, okay? We were barely alive a few days after the Super Bowl, recapping everything that went down. Now we're a few weeks out. I just got back from my very own darkness retreat. It's called a Pina Colada retreat, and it was in Cabo. And boy, did I have a time. I had to get a spray tan before I left because things were going to look rough. Things were going to be pasty by the pool. And the people that I went on vacation with came back darker than I was, and I don't even have a spray tan except for me. Had a blast, had an absolute blast. The off season so far has been going really well. For those of you, this is the highlight. For those of you that don't live in Los Angeles, and I'm going to make some people in the control room very jealous if they have not been here. I got to go to the Magic Castle, okay? For those of you that don't live here or don't know what the Magic Castle is, you cannot go unless you know a magician, okay? That is how you get in. You've got to be invited. You've got to have an in with like a registered magician. Where the hell these people are getting registered as a magician, I do not know. But they have to be a member of the Magic Castle for you to go. And the Magic Castle is this gigantic house. It was like the first house built in Los Angeles. That's not true, but it looks like it. There's pictures all around. There's like nothing else. It's at the foot of the Hollywood Hills, and it's creepy. You pull up to this thing, and you're like, this is dark energy, okay? And I'm not just buying into the magician's dark energy. Weird things have happened in this home. And there's all these little plaques around. By the way, you get in the door and you have to say, abracadabra, for the door to open. I'm sure it would just, if you said, can you open it, please, it would open. But people look silly doing it. But anyways, so you go in. There's all these plaques everywhere telling you how old the house is, how spooky it all is. There's this ghost that plays the piano named Irma. You go up to the piano, you say, Irma, can you play Fly Me to the Moon? She goes, ding, 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 ding. It's wild times, okay? And I wish that our friend Mohan was here to tell this story, because this is why I bring it up. A, I miss Mohan, and B, I went to the Magic Castle, and one time, Mohan went to the Magic Castle, and in the middle of the night, they're like, everyone get out. You got to get out. No. Doesn't matter who you know, which magician you know. You got to get out of the house. Bye. They walk out. There's ambulances. There's fire trucks. There's everything. Okay. He's just like, why are we getting told to leave the Magic Castle? Turns out somebody died in a closet there that night. Okay. So I knew going into this place, it was spooky vibes. Weird stuff has happened in this house. And it was a time. And a magician looked me dead in my eyes. And I thought he was possessing me for a second. And I said, I got to go. I got to get out of here. So that, and then I just drank a bunch of pina coladas. That's how my off season has been going. I got to say, I freaking miss football. And I'm excited. Because this week the Combine starts, baby. The NFL Combine starts this Thursday, March 2nd at 3 p.m. Eastern on NFL Network and NFL Plus. We are not going, sadly. We went last year. It was a time. And usually, I think today was the day that you get to start like hearing stuff from coaches. We've got some fun news to react to. And then the Combine starts. I will say, when I went last year, it was like kind of emotional. You're down on the field, and these guys are just like pacing. They're just, before anything gets started, they're just pacing. They're warming up their bodies. This is about to be the most probably important day of their career thus far. And you can just feel the energy. It is pin drop silent down there. Like there's no music playing. There's no one's going, good to see you, bro. None of that. They're full panic mode. They're freaking out. And then you'll hear some like hoots and hollers when somebody runs a fast 40. But it is very exciting. That starts on Thursday. We are all very excited to see how that unwinds. But it got me thinking, you know how when you go to high school and you're like, why am I dissecting a frog if I want to become a television host. Like, there's a lot of things that you learn in school that don't make sense. There's a lot of things that you should learn in school that would make more sense. Like, I don't know, how to pay your taxes, but you don't learn those things. So I took to Twitter and I asked y'all, what is missing from the combine that would be like a thing that players have to do in their careers that would make a lot of sense, but all they're doing is like seeing how high they can jump, okay? And measuring their hand sizes and whatever. So we got rid of the Wonderlic. We did that last year. I didn't want to subject y'all to hearing me having to answer these seemingly basic but actually very difficult questions. The Wonderlic did not make any sense. Okay, but I took to Twitter and I asked y'all what was missing, and this is how I said it. Okay, so they got rid of the Wonderlic test. Bye, good, see ya, didn't make sense. I would love to see some kind of media test, just because there would be hella fun moments that come from these guys getting grilled, and also think about how much of their career they're standing in front of a podium, they're getting asked questions at halftime, they're getting asked questions post-game, pre-game, a lot of stuff that we love. I love when somebody has a wild post game or says something crazy at practice, because we are going to take that small little tic-tac of information, blow it out of proportions to something that you did not even mean at all, because that's our job. Okay, we're bored. We don't have a life. So that's what we're going to do to the words that come out of your mouth. But see, don't you think that that'd be interesting if those guys were tested and grilled on that? So I tweeted that out. Our guy, Rich Eisen, did a little note writing thing. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's there. He's going to be at the draft. Rich is good at asking those questions. I think that he should actually be hosting that segment. But that's what I said. And then I also said this. I also posed this as an idea. If we had $1 million, $1 trillion, I don't know what this would cost, okay? What if we built some kind of dome and just put very, very cold air in there, and maybe even some like fake snowflakes, and simulated a snow game? Don't you think that that would be valuable information, and maybe perhaps a very hot one? Don't you think it'd be valuable information to see what players can really rock it in the cold temps? Like, imagine seeing Josh Allen at the combine way back when, just throwing darts in the cold dome. The Bills, who already signed him, so I guess it doesn't really matter to them, he's higher on my list, baby. Okay, so those were my two ideas. A cold dome that would probably be $1 billion to make, and a media test. This is what you guys thought. Okay, would love to see these athletes perform the beep test. I do not think that, well, I guess that could be speed, and also just seeing, like, how long they can, you know, like, what their athletic levels are. I don't know, why did we even do the beep test? Why were we doing the beep test in high school? That's another thing they should throw out in high school. That would give me anxiety when it was beep test day. I would actually really love to try that as an adult, though, and I would watch grown men do it. You also got to think, combines are like, yes, we're trying to figure out who's good at what and who should be drafted to what team. It all feels a little weird. But also, it's televised, baby. Okay, throw in a couple of things that are going to be fun to watch. It is fun to watch, especially the 40. Okay. Okay. This one's not wrong. This one is not wrong. Kyle says a social media test. Players are giving a list of tweets and must choose which ones they'd send out. Similar to like the media thing. Sometimes these guys say things and you're like, oh boy, should you have not said that? Literally everybody should do a social media test. Okay, there's just some things that should not be said, should not be thought. Don't put them out into the ether. Okay. Podcast tutorials. Usually players were New Heights. Shout outs. We love that pod. Players are always transporting into the media roles. Some of these are pretty dumb. Best TikTok test? No, I don't want to see that. Corey says touchdown celebration dance practice. Got to know these guys ain't going to get a penalty from thrusting too many times. That's genius. You got to know how many thrusts you can do. Okay? You got to know how many thrusts cost what. All right? I want to know if I'm going into a game and I know I'm going to be scoring some tutties or catching some interceptions. I need to know what my celebration dance is going to cost me. It's all about financial literacy. Okay, that could be a part of a financial literacy kind of class. A Love is Blind challenge. I don't know what that means or what that entails, but I'm in because I love that show. And if y'all aren't watching The Perfect Match, you're wasting your time with life. Because that is the best show on television right now. Oh, my God. Okay. Oh, a gritty test is a good one. I think that would go into the dance celebration. Like just how maybe deciding like, you're not worth. Because sometimes the dance celebrations are worth the, 10,000, 15,000, whatever, 100. I don't even know how much these are cost. Okay, Fluffy Fawn says make them make them keep track of an egg for the week. Can't break or lose it. Is this a responsibility thing? Because again, I would watch some kind of like real life documentary following a gigantic man trying to keep track of one single raw egg. I think people are in agreement that they would want to see some media things, Fear Factor style challenges. Sure, you won a national championship, but can you eat a bug? I want to know. Either way, it's going to be fun to watch these guys compete in the combine and see who is going to really shine before the draft that's going to take place very, very soon. It's all happening. Just when you think you're in the off season, you're not actually. Okay? You got to prepare for the preseason, which starts the day after the Super Bowl. Another thing that is coming this week that I'm very, very excited about, probably on the same level as the combine, Travis Kelce is hosting Saturday Night Live. What day is that? Just kidding. It's on Saturday. I was doing a little deep dive into like other athletes that have hosted across like all sports, but mostly football. Eli has hosted, Peyton has hosted one time, Tom Brady has hosted. We're going to get into Tom Brady doing comedy in Uno Momento. JJ Watt, I'm actually surprised that JJ Watt hosted before Travis Kelce. Travis is like an obvious shoo-in. LeBron hosted one time. Charles Barkley has hosted 4 times. He is almost a part of the 5-time jacket wearing member. What is that called? Whatever. The people that get to wear the red jacket after they've hosted 5 times. He's almost there. He is the North Star that Travis should be aiming for. And I feel like this is going to be very good. I'm going to call a few things out right now. I don't know if Jason is going to be there because he just had a baby. Shout outs to the new Kelce baby. Pretty sure she's a girl. Congratulations to that fam. I want to see the mom in the crowd. We do not have Donna Kelce fatigue. We do not have Donna Kelce or any kind of Kelce fatigue. I want to see the brother. I want to see Jason. I want to see Donna in the crowd during the monologue. I want them standing up. We're not going to know that they're there. They're going to ask a question. We're going to be like, they're all there. It's going to be a blast. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Travis just did some kind of impression of Patrick Mahomes, which was the most spot-on Patrick Mahomes impression that I have heard thus far. And I worked on it for like a full day, and I was like, there's no world in which I will ever reach this voice. So I gave up. But Travis, I could see some kind of Patrick Mahomes appearance in the crowd during the monologue. We would love to see that. But I really think that he's going to be great at this. I think he is so funny already. Maybe they recreate his Chasing Kelce dating show where he dated 50 women from 50 different states. Honestly, I think he might be single. Chasing Kelce Part 2. Who cares about The Bachelor? Who cares about Perfect Match? What I want to see is Chasing Kelce Part 2. But that is this week, and we're going to have more news from the Combine next week. It is going to be great. Football is back, kind of, sort of. How pathetic are we that we can't even go 2 weeks and we're like, let's go, baby, she's back. Guys, coming up after the break, I'm going to draft my perfect vacation. This one was fine. It was great. Pina coladas were sipped. All right? Many. Okay? But it might have been more fun if certain people were there. That's all I'm going to say. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I know we mentioned Perfect Match in the beginning of this show, but I need to, if there's ever a single thing that I've said to you in my life on this podcast to watch, to read, to experience, such as the Magic Castle, guys, if Perfect Match is such a mess of a television program, and it is just when you think you get a break from the roller coaster and the drama is over, Do you guys think that people need to watch Love is Blind and other Netflix bad, juicy shows to enjoy this, or no? I mean, it helps because we see, like, we know the storylines of some of these people, but I don't even think that you need to watch Love is Blind. I don't think you need to watch Too Hot to Handle. Just watch Perfect Match. Okay? Okay. It is time to draft my perfect vacation. Okay? This is a trend that I've been seeing on TikTok There's also like, you know, when you see people are like, okay, who murdered me? And they just like go through all of the people. You know what I'm talking about. You're on TikTok. Okay, so I'm drafting my perfect vacation. I really thought about this today. It took me about 30 minutes to answer all these questions because I was trying to make it absolutely perfect. I created a whole storyline, a whole scenario. Follow me on this. Travel Buddy 1. Okay? Dan Campbell. He is the guy that's in the pool that is burnt to a crisp on day 1, and the rest of the vacation he has to wear a long sleeve shirt. He is that guy. He's got 2 pina coladas. One's a Miami Vice, a daiquiri mixed with a pina colada, one full pina colada. He is just he doesn't leave the pool. You know he's peeing in the pool all day. Like, no one get too close to him. Dan Campbell's in the corner. He's got his long sleeve shirt on. Is he even wearing a hat? Probably not. Is he even wearing sunblock? Probably not. He does have a sunglass tan. That lasts for 2 weeks once he gets home. Okay, that's travel companion number 1, and I am not mad about it for a second. Am I going near him in the pool? No, I'm not. Number 2. Also, I don't pee in the pool. People that pee in the pool, sickos. I'm looking at all y'all. I'm trying to see your reaction in the back. I see some people that pee in the pool. Okay, travel buddy number 2. This is actually very strategic. This is more of a career move. I'm going Jalen Hurts as my travel buddy number 2. First off, who doesn't love Jalen Hurts? Okay. Second off, he just lost the Super Bowl. Okay. Maybe you would think that sounds like a sad vacation. No. Every restaurant that you go to, every bar that you go to, guess what? People are sending over the drinks. People are sending over the free bevs, the comped meals, because we're with a loser. We're actually with the number 1 loser. He just lost the Super Bowl. All right. No one is going to have any he's not getting turned down at the door. They're going to be like, bro, sorry, but you got that's another thing. He's got quite the career ahead of him. Will he be in another Super Bowl? I sure think so. Do I want in at the low points in his career so that when he is holding the Lombardi, he can look around and he'll be like, hey, my day ones, y'all were there for me when I lost? That's me. That's us on vacation. Okay. Jalen Hurts is my number 2. Our tour guide for the week is none other than Pete Carroll, because I immediately thought of tour guide. I thought, Paul Rudd in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and I was like, who is that? That is Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, once he's done with his NFL career as a coach, he is going to retire in Hawaii. He's going to learn how to surf, and then he's going to teach other dumb tourists how to surf. And you know what? I would give him my money, and I don't even like being in the ocean because I just like that guy. He's trustworthy. He's a trustworthy old guy. Okay, you wanna be on his tour. You know that he knows things, or even if he doesn't know things, he is for sure gonna make them up in a believable way because he's a grandpa. That's what grandpas do. They tell stories that you want to believe. Okay, that is our tour guide. Staying in the room next door, I want it to be TB12. I want it to be Tom Brady. I want to know what's going on in his life. You betcha I'm going to be up against that door with a glass, listening to every single thing that he says. Who's he with? Is he with anyone? What's he up to? And also, I feel like he's kind of boring and would keep it quiet. When I was in Cabo, we were right below. There was like a club on the roof because people, party on vacation. I didn't go to the club. I'm not a clubber. But our room was directly below it. And I had to wear earplugs every single night because I am not that fun. But I feel like Tom Brady would be nice and quiet, no disturbances, and I'm nosy and I want to know about his life. And maybe I'd I'd hear him like getting ready to go out for the day, and I'd time myself up perfectly so we'd like bump into each other and be like, Tom, I work in the NFL. What are the odds that we're next door to each other? You guys are going to go to the pool? Want to hang? Want to be friends? We're going to talk about Tom Brady coming up in a sec because I've got a bone to pick. But Tom Brady is staying in the room next door. Annoying couple you keep running into. I hate to say it, but it's Russ and Ciara. I just feel like they'd be doing TikToks at the pool. They'd be doing TikToky dances at the pool. If you're going to do TikTok dances at the pool, it's fine. But, I respect you if you're working towards something. You're trying to build your empire. You're trying to get money. You're trying to get your little sponsorships. You're both billionaires. You don't need to be doing TikToky dances at the pool. You don't. You know what's the most depressing thing when you're on vacation? which I saw on the last day, which maybe I was just like a little bummed out to begin with. But there was this woman that was like making her husband take all these pictures of her at the pool, like, pose, pose, pose. And then literally as soon as he was done taking the pictures, they sat on opposite chairs facing away from each other, like didn't even want to talk to each other. I was like, oh, human beings are depressing. Okay, so that is the annoying couple you run into, obviously, right? They're like the obvious pick. You don't want to run into, you don't. Destination, I don't really care. Bora Bora, Cabo, somewhere hot, okay? I want a beach. I am anti-alpine vacation. I am anti-skiing vacation. We don't need that. I'm not going to go on vacation to go be cold and tired and wet. My socks are soaking wet. No, I don't want that. Okay, it's a no. And then the final thing to build out my perfect vacation, what is a group activity that I would want to do with all of these people? And let me tell you, there's not a one. I don't do activities on vacations. I sit in my little chair. Okay, I get to know my server by name. Okay, we become friends. We become friends all weekend, all week long. He comes, he takes my drinky, he brings my drinky, I drink my drinky, he gets me another drinky. That's the vibe, okay? I am not getting off my chair unless I have to go to the bathroom because I don't go in the pool or go into the pool for a little swim, okay? I don't go in the ocean. I don't go on excursions. I was watching people in Mexico in these gigantic parachutes over the water. That's not fun. Who's doing that on vacation? It is not me. I'm not an excursion gal. I'm not ziplining. I'm not going in a cenote. Okay? Just my luck, I would go into a cenote. I went to Tulum once, and my ex was like, I really want to go to the cenote. He's like excursion guy. Okay, maybe that's part of the reason why we're not together anymore. I'm not an excursion gal. We went into a cenote, and I was so upset. I thought we were going to go, like, just check it out. He sees a little tour going in for a swim. He's like, I'm going to go into the cenote. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And he's like, come in with me. And I'm like, no. I threw a full fit. Maybe even had, I'm an actress, maybe even had 1 or 2 tears rolled down the cheeky. But he was like, I'm still going. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll be waiting on the other side. I realized there is no other side. You have to go through to get out. So this group leaves. They're nowhere to be seen. I go up to the guy. I go, I got to go in there. I got to get out of here. So it gives me a little thing. I'm by myself. I did not want to go into the cenote to begin with. I'm by myself. I get into the cenote. I'm like swimming around. I catch... Now I actually know why we broke up. I catch up to the group and I'm like, I'm going to show him. I swim under and like pinch his bum. He screams in front of the whole group and I join up with the group and we finish off our vacation. But I did not like it in there. It was cold and it was dark and it was very scary and I will never do it again. It was worth it for the scare. But group activity, none. Can't catch me on a group activity. I'm going to be floating in that pool. It's probably filled with pee. All right, coming up after the break, the best and the worst thing that I saw all week. One of them has to do with Tom Brady, and I will flip out if it is true. Don't go anywhere.
He's the best.
All right. Man, I don't know what I want to start with. Both of them could be categorized as worst, by the way, this week. I'll start with the worst thing that I saw. I was really hoping that we would get some more Aaron Rodgers news this week. And I came out of vacation being like, I came out of my own darkness retreat. Aaron's come out of his. By the way, I Googled this darkness retreat. I think I would lose my mind. I listened to this podcast a couple of weeks ago about this woman that went to the quietest place in the world, which is like, I want to say it's somewhere in like a weird place, like Minnesota or something like that. And it's this sound deprivation chamber. Is that right? Did I say that right? Whatever. It's the quietest room in the world, according to like Guinness World Records, all of these like scientific places. And you go, you turn off the lights, and you just are supposed to sit in this chamber with your thoughts. And people hallucinate in there. They see like maybe a little crack of light. They start to think that they're seeing aliens, whatever. Having that sort of like sound, light, all of that stuff, deprivation, it can really mess with your mind. So the fact that Aaron Rodgers is like, I'm going to go to one of these streets and really figure things out. Like, baby, no, you're going to come out of that thing thinking that you are from another planet if you don't already think that yourself. I was looking at pictures. It's actually kind of like a cute little cabin in like, actually in like a hill. in Oregon. I think the place has like pictures online. You can see it. It's just like there's like a little meditation corner. I think that you actually would maybe lose yourself more than finding yourself. Or maybe that says more about me than it does about him, that I'm afraid of that. Too personal. Okay. But Aaron Rodgers has come out of his retreat. He has not said anything. The GM of the Packers, you know how they had their media availability at the Combine. He said not much to report on that one. We haven't really had any conversations yet, so not a lot of answers there. We want answers. I think Ian Rappaport said that the longer this goes, the more likely it is for him to stay with the Packers. So who knows how this is going to unfold, but I want to hear about it. Oh, it's Tuesday. Isn't he supposed to go on McAfee today? We're going to get to the bottom of this. I want the full I want the full story. What happened in the dark with Aaron Rodgers? Ooh, that sounds like it's not PG-13, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, and then another bad thing that I saw. I categorized this as the best thing that I saw because it piqued my interest the most. There were lots of reports today that Tom Brady is doing stand-up. I don't know what that means. There's also some other reports on TMZ saying he's not going to do stand-up. He's in talks with Netflix to do a roast. That could be interesting. Our good friend of the show, friend of the pod, Sarah Tiana, a roast master. I bet you she would be involved in some way. Tom Brady pursuing stand-up comedy. I can't say I wouldn't watch. I cannot say I wouldn't watch. I know a few years ago, you know when he started to really get into his social media stuff and his Instagram started popping off, he started making all of these videos. And everyone was just like, he's got to have a team. I think he'd have a team for this too. And it'd probably be entertaining. They do a good job. I subscribe. I follow. Okay. But that's what's on the radar right now. I think he's delaying his trip to Fox to call some games, and he is going to be doing comedy in one way or another. We don't know what that means, but let me tell you, I'm excited to find out. Okay, guys, that is our show. That's it. That's all. Benched with Bonnetta. We are down to once a week, so we are going to be back next week. We are going to be talking about the Combine, what we saw, what we loved, what we hated. Maybe we'll call up Rich. Maybe we'll call up Rich pre-draft and say, hey, sir, we got an idea for you. Why don't you grill these guys? Why don't you see what they got to offer? What makes them crack? Okay, what makes them tick? We want to know. And don't forget to subscribe to our show. We are going to be here all off season, baby. Talking about the news. There's lots of stuff happening. People are leaving. Carson Wentz dropped by the Commanders. Derek Carr, where is he going? We're going to keep you updated on all of that stuff. And Mohan's going to be... Mohan hasn't been here in years. He's on vacation. Oh, he thinks he can take a vacation. That's cute. Only I'm allowed to do that. Just kidding. We miss Mohan. He'll be back next week, we hope. And we'll see you guys. Love ya. Bye. Enjoy the Combine.